Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. The Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be presenting the Union Budget in exactly 2 weeks. And the commodity space is ready with its list of expectations. Let's start with the dry fruits industry. It's expecting more focus on ease of doing business, reduction in compliance burden, and the industry is also hoping for a rationalization of duty on nuts and dry fruits, and of course an introduction of production-linked incentive scheme. Joining us to discuss this further is Rajat Kamath Bola, Director of Bolas Agro. Rajat, hi, pleasure having you on CNBC TV18. We do understand that dry fruits really became the talk of the town, especially after COVID, when everybody started looking at dry fruits as a part of their daily diet. And we've seen good growth in an annual basis when it comes to dry fruit industry within India and consumption as well. First of all, with the numbers itself, what is the kind of growth that you're working with for India, for the industry?
So we are seeing a double-digit growth in dry fruits in post-COVID. And we are seeing the growth coming from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and from non-traditional consuming markets of dry fruits, that is South India and East India, whereas the traditional markets were North and West. So the dry fruits industry has grown out of the traditional dry fruits of cashew and almonds to now walnuts, dates and other products which are now consumed all over India as a part of the diet.
Oh, absolutely. Rajat, how would you look at the market right now? I mean, would you say that it is going more organized as the years go by?
Yes, it is. So we are seeing a lot of products which are coming out in the retail market, which are health snacking related products which use dry fruits as the core ingredient. And these products are not at all cannibalizing the existing market. So every single such product which has come into the market has added to the demand. And no matter what anyone says, the growth has been consumption-led and not supply-led.
So, Rajat, if you were to categorize organized and the non-organized market, because we do understand when it comes to commodities, it's very fragmented. How would you look at the organized versus vis-a-vis non?
So the organized segment has grown to around 25% of the business today. And this has majorly been fueled by modern trade, organized retail, and health snacking space. And it is expected to grow in the last 3 years post-COVID. The growth from unorganized to organized has been really rapid, and it has grown almost twice than it used to before.
Oh, absolutely. So, Rajat, comes budget and there is an expectation from all sectors. It would be very interesting to understand that for an industry which is growing by leaps and bounds and to not traditional areas as well, and within Tier 2, Tier 3 cities also, and has made sense in sense of value addition and snacking and processed food, etc. What is it that this sector is looking forward to from budget?
See, one of the main reasons for the growth in Tier 2 and Tier 3 has been the introduction of the GST Act. So it rationalized the duty within India, the taxes within India, to a level that all the regions, the processors and marketers in all the regions could compete. And this has fueled the growth to what it has reached today. Today, I think the government has to further the initiative into dry fruits by rationalizing the import duties, because the import duties today, for example, a commodity like dates is still 99% unorganized because of the duty structure of 22% import duty, and there is a free trade agreement with UAE, which is also being misused. So rationalization of import duties is one of the major demands that we have with the government, and especially in products like dates, walnuts, which have 100% duty, and moving the duty structure from a percentage duty structure to a per kg duty structure, like they did with almonds, can open up the market, and we can see, and we've seen how the almond has grown over the last 10 years.
This is also an industry which does not have PLI. This is also an industry which perhaps is really fragmented. Would you seek some subsidies, some support from the government as well, as all sectors are doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this sector has been employment generating sector traditionally. If you see, all the majorly cashew has been the dry fruit which has been processed in India for over 60, 70 years now. And this sector is employing women at scale and across the coastal belt of India. Most of the industry, as you said, is fragmented, and there are small scale industries and MSMEs which do require the support. of the government.
Rajat, a very quick one then. When it comes to scaling business, I do understand that Bolas Agro, your company, does quite a well job. There are various more companies, more startups coming in within the dry fruit as a segment as well. Do you see enough market for all?
There is enough market for everyone in this industry, to be honest, because there is both growth as well as there is growth in the organized sector as well as the growth in consumption. So when these two go hand in hand, I think it is very important for us to understand that there is room for everyone to grow. And we've been working very closely with a lot of startups, developing, helping them develop ingredients for protein bars, for snacking nuts, which is, for example, in the UAE and European markets, the snacking nuts is 10 times bigger market than India's snacking nuts segment, and it is a segment that can grow to much bigger than the European market segment.
All right. So that's the healthy part of the diet, of course. Rajat, as always, thank you so much for joining us. And we are hoping that you get some healthy stuff coming in from the budget as well, so that this industry can grow by leaps and bounds, as has been the case with demand. But that's about nuts and dry fruits. Moving on, let's talk about gems and jewelry sector. And this sector is hoping for an import duty cut, first of all, on gold from the current 15% to at least 10%. In its pre-budget recommendations to the finance minister, the industry has sought mandatory hallmarking as well as establishment of a jewellery export centre at Gift City. Joining us now to break all of that down is Sabyasachi Ray. He's Executive Director at Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. Mr. Ray, hi, thank you so much for joining us at CNBC TV18. I know it's a long list, but if you had to choose the top two, what would that be that would help not only ensure that the exports grow well, but the international trades and relations also stay firm?
See, if you talk to me about the top two, of course, diamond is a major commodity. So we are talking about starting with the taxation scheme, special taxation scheme for special notified zone. That means say for a rule for the transactions, over the transaction, the turnover tax, what is there. So we are talking about that. That is one of the issues what we have discussed and we have called in the budget. The second thing you have already told, that we are talking about reduction in import duty on gold. That is one of the issues, because that is proving to be very costly for the exporters, because on 15% of gold plus 3% of GST, if around 20% of the value of gold, if our exporters have to give in the bank guarantee, that is very costly for our exporters. That is one of the things what we are telling, and of course the reputation of the country as such. And the third thing also, one of the things what we are also talking about is, popularizing or allowing the atmosphere to manufacture the platinum jewelry for exports, because platinum as a metal and platinum jewelry is gaining its traction in the international market for export. That is another thing what we are talking about with the government.
I do want to understand about the diamond impress license as well. I mean, that is something that we do. I do know, I've been talking to you earlier as well. That is an important one as well. Do you think the finance minister would work on this one?
See, one of the things what we are looking at, because of some sort of demand crunch in the Western market due to their downturn, and also in China, because of their exports and diamonds are suffering, and also the geopolitical issues what is there. So what we are talking with the government is to shift the trading of diamonds, both cut and polish and rough diamonds, into India. So if the SNZ and the policy around that of giving some taxation leeway there, as it is done in Belgium or it is done in UAE, it will help to shift the trading of rough diamonds. And the second thing what we are also talking about is that the cut and polish diamonds, which our exporters are sending to the trading destination like New York or maybe Belgium and etc. So if they are sending there, and if some unsold stocks are there, to allow that to be imported and re-exported after reassortment, which is in the form of diamond impress license, that import will happen. That was there in the policy, the foreign trade policy 2009 and before. And we are talking about reintroducing that diamond impress license, which will help the trading of polished diamonds, which is happening outside, to come back here, reassort, and then send it back. So we will gain some $1 to $2 billion of extra exports through that scheme.
Oh, lovely, amazing. You spoke about the special notified zones, Sabyasachi, and you spoke about the special taxations for that as well. But this is an area that you have been working for a very long time. What all are you looking for in sense of special notified zones as an important sector for you as a segment?
See, if you all remember the 2014 when Mr. Putin came in here, so our Prime Minister has given a commitment to him to start this to deal with the rough diamonds here. So not only Russia, but throughout the world, all the rough diamonds. So what we are looking at is that the miners, the diamond miners from across the world, they should be allowed to do the auctioning of their diamonds here. So based on that, in 2016, the Union government has started this special notified zone scheme, where they have given a special dispensation that if the mining companies are displaying their rough diamonds for the buyers, that means are diamond cutters and manufacturers and exporters of India. So for that display, that will not be considered as a permanent entity, those mining companies. So that was the small dispensation under taxation, the income tax was given. And there was a second part of it. After that display, if somebody is interested and have won the bid under the auction, and if they want to purchase those diamonds at the special notified zone, there is another part of the second part of the Rule 9 of the income tax, by which if you sell it, it should not be considered, those mining companies should not be considered a permanent entity. We wanted a relaxation into this. Based on that, a special committee was formed by the government. Those committee understood or research on the entire process and saw to it that how an equal dispensation like the other markets like the Belgium or UAE can be given to India. And based on that, they have recommended to the government to come out with a safe harbor tax. So we are talking about the safe harbor tax to be introduced, so that the second part of this whole concept is also done, so that more and more mining companies can come to trade their diamonds here, and so that our small cutters and polishers can also buy the diamond directly from the miners. That is one part of the thing. The second part, what we have also talked about, is that it should be expanded to colored gemstone also, because colored gemstone do the similar kind of trading or auctioning, and that is happening in other dispensations like Thailand or Singapore and etc. That also should be included here. So SNZ policy for colored gemstone, that is the second part of it. And the third part, what we are talking, is the small mining destination like Lesotho or other parts of world. So if you want the consolidators also to offer their rough diamond in a special notified zone, like IHN, Bonus, etc., which they are doing again in Belgium or Dubai, they should come. So they should be also allowed to enter the SNZs. This is what we are calling for.
Oh, absolutely, Sabyasachi. There's a reason people look up to you when it comes to policies and norms, and finding those loopholes there. There's absolutely a reason for that. Thank you so much for joining us today and clearly laying...
It is not the loophole, It is no, but these are... We are talking about ease of doing business.
I totally get that. I did not mean it like that. I did not mean it negative at all. I do understand. You understand policy matters a lot, Sabyasachi. I've had so many conversations with you, so I do understand that what you're talking about is in favor of the industry that would really encourage. And these are things that we've seen in the past as well. So hoping that the finance minister, of course, is looking at them keenly yet again. Thank you so much for joining us. And with that, it's time for a quick break. But don't go anywhere. We will get you more budget expectations from commodity space on the other side.